Hello and welcome to another edition of Crypto with Chingas. My name is Chingas. Today we're going to be talking about blockchain technology. What is it and why does it pertain to you and your precious Bitcoins? So let's get started. Blockchain technology, it is a foundational technology. It was started in '91, used to timestamp and verify documents. It never really caught on, didn't really go anywhere until 2009 when the Genesis block, the very first block, was created for the Bitcoin network. Let's imagine that the blockchain itself is very similar to a checkbook. We'll call it a ledger. But in this particular checkbook, you don't see the to and from. You only see the transaction. You just see a series of letters and numbers, and then a transaction ID, which is another series of letters and numbers, and then followed by the recipient address, which is another series of letters and numbers, and then the amount that was sent. And that's all you see. But this ledger can be held by everybody in the world, and it can be updated automatically at all times every time there's a new block added to the chain. So let's go back. Let's talk about that chain. Let's talk about this actual block. In order for a block to be created, there has to be computational challenges. There has to be actual work that goes into discovering the next block. That's where hash rate comes in. So we have a network of miners that they're doing all this work in the background. Meanwhile, transactions are coming in. Bitcoin's getting sent, it's getting received, it's moving from one wallet to another wallet. All the while, they're discovering the next block. When that block is created, all of those transactions that happened during that time are all going to make up one of three parts of that actual block, right? So you have all that transactional data, that's part one. Part two is when the block is discovered is a unique hash. So think of that hash as a fingerprint. And in order for those two pieces of data to make sense on the chain, it needs to have the hash of the previous block. When all of that is on and then is verified, validated, it then gets sent out onto that ledger that we just talked about, and now everybody has the updated list of all those transactions that were just added to the network. So picture a freight train and picture all of the cars on that train, and you have 6 cars deep, and the 7th car is coming up. Well, the 7th car has to talk to that 6th car, and when they smack together, they're going to make a unique handshake, and they're going to share the same number. Now you have the end of that car that was just added. That will be the handshake for the next block that's added. So picture that in your head. You get a better idea of what an actual blockchain is. But let's talk about the benefits of a blockchain. It's an immutable, publicly distributed ledger. So again, we go back to how it's publicly distributed. Everybody can have it. There is no centralized system that's gonna hold all of the information. So what you do there is you don't have a single point of failure. If you have 25 nodes in the network and they're all running part of this network and 4 of them go down, you still have 21. The network is still alive and well. All transactions are going. Everything's being sent and received just like it would if you had 25, 100, 5,000. Doesn't make any difference. It's a trustless system. We don't have a central system that is making all the shots, allowing or denying transactions to happen. It's a permanent system. You cannot change any information in a previous block. The second you change information in that block, the hash changes, and that's that fingerprint we were talking about. And so if the fingerprint then changes and it has to link to the next block, all other blocks are completely invalidated. So they would no longer exist, and that cannot happen in this system. It is attack resistant, censorship resistant, right? These are all things that make it very, very, very secure. And that is why in the digital currency world, we really like it for chains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. We talked about the very first block. The creation is the Genesis block. Now that about wraps it up for blockchain. I hope you have a better understanding of what it actually is and why it's good for your digital currency. You could dive real deep into this technology if you want to. That is not the purpose of this video. It's just to give you a general concept of what it is. I am going to leave you with a few tools. I'll put those in the links. These are really cool sites that you could discover more about blockchain and about the actual blocks that are in each one. Very cool stuff. I'll just scroll through the block explorers. You could talk about transactions per day, average block size, transaction fees, mempool size. All of this stuff will just be in the links below, so you can take a look at your heart's content. If you like the video, please subscribe below, leave some comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you, and we'll have many more videos coming out in the future, so stay tuned, and thank you for joining me. Happy trading. I threw in the happy trade. I mean, happy trading.